Rosa. Disorderly conduct. Rosa was found semi-conscious earlier yesterday morning, lying amongst the remains of the Creative Rizzo's confectionaries. Their value 15 bits. Market loss approximately 1,500 bits. When approached by guards, Oza began to rave and yell, uttering phrases such as, "Rizzo's has slugs, slugs, they'll kill us all." Mr. Oza was apprehended and brought to the constable's office. Slug bureaucrats have begun work on the defamation papers, which, in tandem with the price of the goods Mr. Oza is destroyed, it will likely force him into hard labor for the rest of his life. At least he won't be stoking any more trouble between us and Rizzo's anymore. Lexus. Public drunkenness. 6th arrest of Lamb this month. Alright. Security footage. That's what I need. Kitchen. Messages. Hack. Passcode. I love terror on Monarch. Ludovico. I know you don't need to hear this, but please be on your guard. Parea Spaceport is technically outside my jurisdiction, which means you're the only representative the company law is Slug territory. This is more than I can reasonably expect from you, but I appreciate it if you keep an eye on Cedric Kincannon. He's looking for any opportunity to seize control of the entire complex from me. You're keeping him in check. You are the first, last, and only line of defense between the Slugs' lawless hooligans. Our project. I know you have dreams of something bigger than Eridanos. This product launch is successful. If Spectrum Brown spreads into the rest of the colony, I promise you, I will find you a place where you can be happy for the rest of your life. You're a valuable part of Rizzo's family, and I will look after you. Gnosis. Repair. Record archives not found. Rizzo's tubularies must maintain detailed archives of our official records. Alright, we're going now. Confront Spencer. Let's say he's at? On the VIP floor. Go to the penthouse. Take the elevator down.
Aha! Always so nice to hear you, Inspector. I'll get you to your floor on the double.
I want the VIP.
If you see Black Hole Birdie, be sure to get an autograph for me. Just joking. I've already got one.
You've already told me that. Yeah, we'll just keep who we have.
I could not have waited another instant for your presence. The Canes and the Canids, Act 2, Scene 6. I played a love-struck janitor. Ask me anything at all. I might even give you a straight answer.
I learned a thing or two about your activities in this hotel.
Oh, have you now? Please do go on. Don't leave me in suspense.
I have security footage of you tampering with Helen's last meal.
Tampering? No, no, no. I just happened to be passing through the kitchen and saw a dish that looked good. If being hungry is a crime, you better indict 3/4 of Halcyon.
Good question. Was it that you wanted arrow ray bile gland?
What? That damned bellhop promised discretion. Well, if you must know, it's an appetite suppressant. How do you think I keep my form so lithe? Terror ray glands keep me from feeling hunger pangs.
Terror ray gland was an appetite suppressant. You wouldn't be hungry if you took it.
Oh, well, there's... maybe I just wanted to see what was in it. Oh, law. What a pathetic defense. As it so happens, I may not have had the terror ray gland acquired for personal use. I may have placed it in Bellamy's meal. But before you indict me, please, just listen. I wasn't trying to kill her.
So you lied about being poisoned?
Lie is such a strong word. But even if I had chosen to poison myself, the danger should have been minimal. Terror ray glands aren't supposed to be lethally poisonous. They're supposed to cause extreme lethargy, as if you'd inhaled several quarts of Spectrum vodka. She would have had to eat 6 or 7 of the glands to die, and even then it would be an extended, arduous process.
Yeah, you really seem like a toxicologist, or maybe you played one in the 8th wave. Why poison her at all?
I was just getting to that. I only wanted her to be incapacitated during the Brown unveiling. With her out of commission, the next available celebrity, myself, would get to host the unveiling. Please think twice about telling the administrator of my misdeeds. If he learns the truth, what's left of my career will be left in shambles.
What would you want me to say instead?
Tell him it was a poisonous mushroom or a bite from some poisonous insect. An accident. I promise I shall make up for my actions. Pay to erect a statue in Helen's honor, or perhaps even dedicate a performance to her memory.
I'll keep you in suspense. It's more fun that way.
My law, if you aren't a sadist. If I have a coronary before you make your decision, I will do my utmost to haunt you.
All right, so we gotta talk to Ludovico. So we gotta go back up. I don't think it's him either. I don't think he killed her.
Aha! Always so nice to hear you, Inspector. I'll get you to your floor on the double. Next stop, the finest seat in the house.
It's not the Prophet. I don't believe it's Woolrich. I haven't found anything with the Needler.
Inspector, I've just received word that Constable Keene is dead. Please tell me it isn't true.
He was murdered in her office.
Halcyon Helen, Leora Blossom, Maria Keene. There's a murderer on the loose, Inspector. You must stop them. I don't have Maria to count on anymore, so I'm counting on you.
Was she important to you?
Maria devoted her entire life to our vision. She was absolutely committed to our company, to
She was
our
killed
project.
like Helen was shot.
I promised myself I'd reward her after we launched Spectrum Brown. I'd make sure she was comfortable for the rest of her life. She was also our voice of reason. She was sensible, and I appreciated her advice. I never got to tell her that.
Let's change the topic.
What can I do for you?
I managed to track down Black Hole Birdie.
I'm pleased to hear that. Bertie Holcomb is a valuable asset to the Rizzo's Rangers property. When Helen was murdered, Bertie
think
was
he did it.
nowhere to be found. The timing of his disappearance is unfortunate.
He didn't do it. Fortunate and suspicious. This isn't good for Birdie. Birdie is something of a character, but harmless. I feel bad for him. Yeah, we'll do
Try
that.
not to feel too bad for him. Birdie is a brilliant athlete. The universe has balanced his talent by making him a slackwit.
That's true. He just lost the love of his life.
I don't understand what it was that Helen saw in Birdie. Whatever it was, she seemed to trust him implicitly. He was always on his best behavior around her. Or he tried. I'm not a heartless man, Inspector. I know that losing Helen must have shaken Birdie to his core. Be plain with me, Inspector. Do you believe Black Hole Birdie killed Helen?
I really don't.
I'm relieved to hear that. I happen to be something of a fan of the hack attack. I'd hate to see him processed for murder, but we need to be absolutely sure. I'd like you to continue your investigation. Notify me as soon as you're ready to make a formal accusation.
By the way, Birdie agreed to stay at the Grand Hope Colonial.
I appreciate that. I'd rather keep Birdie within the public eye than let him languish in a bar at the docks. If you're through investigating Birdie, I recommend looking into Cedric Kincannon. He's been entirely too comfortable since we began this investigation. I don't trust Cedric when he's comfortable.
Finished my investigation with Jasmine.
Ms. Leva
Olivia.
earned that
Leva.
title, but not for the reasons you'd expect. The profit business has been profitable for the hotel. Not so much for Ms. Leva's followers. So, tell me, what did you find?
I think she's a fraud and a cheat.
Ms. Leva's techniques have no basis in modern science, but she makes bits hand over fist. If that makes her a fraud, then she's only as fraudulent as our corporate leaders.
Okay.
Does the Prophet strike you as a reasonable candidate for Helen's murderer?
Reasonable candidate. She either did it or she didn't. I'm considering my options, but no, I doubt she did it.
I'll bear that in mind. Thank you for the update, Inspector. I'll include everything you've told me in my official report.
Completed my investigation into Helen's poisoning.
Excellent. I trust you have a name for our poisoner.
Spencer Woolwich confessed to the crime.
Oh, I am disappointed. I'd always believed Mr. Woolrich a man of high character. It pains me to order the arrest and detention of someone I admired. I'd like you to continue investigating Helen's murder. You've found the poisoner, but her killer remains at large.
None of them, though. Is it this guy? I mean, he really wants this Brown to go.
Are you confident you've finished your investigation? You've questioned all your suspects.
Wait, let me back up
Law
here.
speed, Inspector.
Okay, let me look. Oh, speak to Cedric. Speak to Cedric first.
Aha! Always so nice to hear you, Inspector. I'll get you to your floor on the double.
Leave. Yeah, I'll keep seeing people. Yeah. Quite sure it's not Spencer or the Prophet. I'm assuming that's just going to leave us either Cedric. I will see what Cedric says. Although I'm just gonna say Ludovico might be it. I could see him doing something like that.
I don't know what to make of Sublight Underground.
You in here?
I can't shake the feeling they had something to do with Ms. Helen's death.
You're not allowed up with no appointment, unless you want to chat with some guards.
Well now, this is unexpected. I'm torn. I despise rudeness toward Eileen, who is entirely invaluable to Slug, and yet I do enjoy this bold, dare I say brash, approach you're taking. Now then, here for my alibi, I assume.
Let's hear it.
Let's see. That night, I was... torturing Elliot Nasser for information on missing cargo. That was a messy one. Didn't break until nearly noon the next day. Can you imagine?
And where would I find Elliot Nasser to verify that?
An excellent question. I had his body dropped off the edge of the land complex. I'm not sure what happened to it from there, scientifically speaking. Maybe it dissolved? Ultimately, though, it doesn't matter. You'd be a fool to believe me, regardless of what I told you. People lie, and I am, incriminatingly, people.
So your alibi is you were busy murdering someone else.
Which, as I said, you should not trust. If it helps, however, you might consider pursuing not my means, but my motive. Why in the name of the architect would I kill Halcyon Helen? She was making me a fortune.
Or net loss for Slug. But if you do have a motive, we're gonna cover it. Bet you make a killing selling tickets to a funeral. So net loss.
I'm considering a line of commemorative merchandise. Still, that's nothing compared to what Helen would have made us in the long run. I'd offer to assist you in your work, but I have a mystery of my own to solve, I'm afraid.
Anything I should look into?
You may very well want to. This particular trouble strikes me as not unrelated to your investigation. Items are disappearing from Slug's storage and processing warehouse. The thefts began a week before Helen's unfortunate death, and there have been more instances since. Before you ask, I know the difference between cargo going missing and cargo going missing. This is the latter.
What's gone missing specifically?
Nothing unsavory, and nothing Ludovico shouldn't know about, if that's your concern. I'm quite serious when I say Slug is a legitimate business. As to the specifics, I'm not sure. The warehouse foreman should be able to tell you. Before you ask, I know the difference between cargo going missing and cargo going missing. This is the latter.
What's the connection with Helen's murder?
I'm not sure. I'm only confident there is one. That the thefts began mere days before Helen's untimely demise is an extraordinary coincidence. I'm not a man who believes in happenstance, Inspector. I do not trust it.
I guess I can't guarantee the theft is related to the murder. Really, dumb luck's done a lot for me. I don't know what that means, but clearly fools are gonna argue with you. I guess I can't guarantee the
I certainly wouldn't take that bet. Regardless, this will be fun. You out in the field, chasing down leads. Me, scheming in my office, preparing to unspeakably mangle the perpetrator.
There's no unspeakable mangling in front of me, please.
I would never. Company secrets and all that. You'll want to speak with Ella Tinsley, the warehouse foreman. I've cleared her as a suspect myself, but should she refuse to cooperate, shoot her. No, I'm joking. If she won't cooperate, tell me and I will shoot her. And do feel free to search my office for clues while you're here. Don't hold back on my account.
Before I get started?
Was there something else you wanted to discuss?
I'd like an explanation for why I was attacked outside.
Bar fight? Drunk raptidons? Black Hole Birdie practicing his hacking in the middle of the street. Stop me if it's one of those, or I'll just keep guessing.
Had a run-in with some slug agents.
Did you now? You're confident they were slug agents and not, I don't know, hired thugs in stolen uniforms?
How did thugs get their hands on slug gear? So you know about the incident.
In short, Slug has not sent anyone to rough you up, Inspector. That would be acting against our own self-interest. Now ask yourself this. Why would anyone give thugs slug gear and send them after you?
Let's put me against slugs.
I suspect you're right. But I can't fathom who would benefit from tarnishing my reputation like that. Can you?
Ludovico. Yeah.
You said it, not me. So, as you've deduced, I did not send anyone from Slug after you, nor is it likely they assigned themselves that task. Still, I am sorry for the trouble, Inspector.
I bet you
With
he was
that
the
matter
high-profile
settled,
person,
is
too.
there anything
with
else
the
you'd
profit.
like my assistance with?
Constable is dead.
Constable Keene? Now that is a damn shame. Am I right to think this wasn't a workplace accident?
This was murder, all right.
It seems murder is becoming an unsettling trend on Eridanos as of late. Thank you for informing me of Constable Keene's passing. When you find her killer, please be certain to make them suffer.
Really upset about this?
We may have been on opposite sides of the law on occasion, but we were not enemies. Perhaps it will shock you to hear her loss saddens me. Maria was a decent soul,
I don't think he did it.
and law knows
I don't
those
think
are in
Cedric
short
did it.
supply around here. A little square, perhaps, in her dedication to the rules, but good nonetheless. I'm also saddened to have lost an occasional drinking buddy. She was quite good at cards, you know.
Unless he's really good at lying, I don't think he did it. She was killed the same way Helen was shot. She didn't deserve it.
No, she didn't. But let's discuss something else. Do you have other matters requiring my attention?
Why does Ludovico hate you so much?
The original incident? Well, I made him an offer he should have refused.
Now he regrets doing business with you?
An excellent deduction, Inspector.
Ah, thank you.
Our combative relationship stems from paperwork, mundanely enough. Rizzo's contracted Sublight to construct the Eridanos atmospheric complex. Had Lou wanted Rizzo's to retain full control of Eridanos, he shouldn't have skimmed the revised contract I sent him. Lou's an administrator, for law's sake. I thought he would adore all the fine print I added.
So you tricked him.
Think of it this way. It was a test, and he failed. It was all perfectly legal, too, which irked Lou to no end. My power grab,
Really makes me
as
think it's
Lou called it,
Ludovico.
planted the seed of hatred. And Lou, obsessed with what should have been, has made sure to water it daily with his bitterness and anger.
I'm sure all the sniping you do at each other helps.
Oh, I'm not an innocent party here. Please don't think I'm claiming to be. Provoking Lou may be fun, but I do have my reasons. Slug's control of Eridanos is a crucial step in my long-term plans for Sublight. The board needs to see irrefutable proof we are a respectable, legitimate business.
Why do you care so much what the board thinks?
Because one day soon, Sublight will obtain a seat on it. Meanwhile, our dear administrator is still laser-focused on old slights, which can be a nuisance. He's grown increasingly desperate to catch Slug with our hand in the proverbial cookie jar as of late, convinced we're involved in less than legal business opportunities.
Which of course you are.
I wish I could wink, but it always looks like I have something caught in my eye.
I think I'm done. What? Oh, stuck on a chair.
Timeline discrepancy detected nearby. This copy of TK contains 142 fewer pages than a standard copy. The missing pages were likely removed to create sufficient space for the hidden listening device inside.
Short range transmitter capabilities. Receiver must be somewhere nearby.
You figured that out just by looking at it? Huh. We ought to talk shop one of these days.
Inspector, please consider speaking into the device in order to trace the transmission and reveal the receiver's location.
Speak to the bug. Whoever's listening, I'm coming for you.
Ominous threat transmitted. Transmission analysis complete. While the precise location of the receiver could not be pinpointed, it has been narrowed down to a smaller, approximate range.
How long has it been here?
Analysis inconclusive. However, there is a minor accumulation of dust particles present on the book's uppermost surface.
I'm in the surrounding area.
The area within a 0.5-meter radius of the book possesses a dust coating comprised of at least twice the number of particles.
Not very dusty then. It's been fairly recent.
That is highly likely, Inspector.
Doo-doo.
What's that you found? No, wait. Don't tell me. Let's save it for the big reveal once you've solved the case.
That's the... Better not steal that with him right there. The crapper?